Alright, if you're feeling saucy and you want to make your video a little bit more interesting, or your renders a little bit more interesting, we can add some compositing effects. So I'm going to switch back to the node editor here, and I'm going to switch from materials, which is where I was at, to over here, which is compositing. I'm going to click on use nodes. I'm going to click on backdrop. And I've already rendered one frame, so it stays in the memory. And I'll add a layout and a reroute switch. And the shortcut for add is Shift A, so I'll also add an output and a viewer. There you are. And I'll plug that in. And this will allow us to see the composite changes as we make them. I can hit the middle mouse button to move these nodes around as a group. And I can move this and change the size of this window with these settings over here. If this panel's not open, you can hit the N key or hit this little plus sign. So I can tell it to fit. I can tell it to zoom if I click in here and drag, if my mouse is working. There we are. So forth and so on. I think I'd like to add a couple simple effects. So Shift A, filter, I'll add a glare. Just some basic lens effects to give it a little bit more. If you want to use the sparkly kind, that's fine, but I will use fog glow. I like the way that looks. I'll use maximum quality and just leave it right there. But maybe I'll add one more. Shift D, I'll just duplicate this. Instead of glare, let's use ghosts, and that adds sort of more of a lens flare effect. You can see it's rendering right here. And clearly that's way too strong, so what I'm going to do is change that mix to negative 0.9, so that way the mix is very weak, hopefully. Still not weak enough, so I'm going to make it negative 0.97. Good. So just a simple glow and ghost effect. And then let's add some basic dispersion. So I'm going to go to distort, lens distortion, drag that to the end of the line here. And let's turn on projector. And let's have that dispersion rate up to about 0.1. Let's see how strong that is. I'm going to hit the zoom here so you can see what dispersion does. Should add a little bit of red here on this side, a little bit of blue on that side. If you crank it up, you'll see that it's a lot stronger. And these things just allow the graphics to look as though they're coming through a lens, but you can overdo it. These kind of effects should always be very subtle. And there you go. Good. So if you wanted to render with those effects, you could try it out and see what you can do. Play around with compositing. It's a very powerful section. Thanks.